That now it is live.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Today we have gathered here for yet another eventful session of the Alumni Speaks, a series of inspirational talks. I, Dr. Pratima Sharma from PG Department of Psychology, welcome you all. Before we begin this wonderful webinar, I would like to apprise everyone with the exuberant Department of Psychology. The Department of Psychology was established in 1974 as an independent department. The introduction of various teaching programs in psychology started with BA honors, and master's degree. It has now grown up into a full-fledged department providing excellent facilities for teaching and research with specialization in social, health, clinical, and counseling areas of psychology. During this span of time, the department's academic activities have been recognized both on national and international levels. Our professional and academic training enables students to work in a broad range of settings, including medical, industry, counseling centers, academic, and research settings. As a matter of a great pride, the department signed an MOU with the prestigious Eötvös Loránd University, Budapest, Hungary, which will include exchange of students, faculty, joint research activity and publications, and exchange of academic materials. Recently, the student as well as the faculty member of the department have been granted bilateral state scholarship for summer university courses. Indeed, the department strives to achieve more milestones through perseverance and determinations. Let's have a glimpses on our international collaborations. Ravi sir, please start the video. The first video.
मैम आपने मुझे भेजा है?
हाँ जी.
Okay, just a minute.
Let's have a glimpses on our international collaborations.
I am Pranavjeet Kaur.
I am Amandeep Kaur.
I am Jagriti Nagpal.
My name is Shreya Dogra,
Pursuing
MA Psychology at Kanya
Mahavidyalaya,
Jalandhar.
It's a matter of immense happiness.
You have won Hungarian Language and Culture Bilateral State Scholarship 2021.
And I got this opportunity because of KMV.
All the credits to KMV.
This is our students who got a bilateral Hungarian scholarship. Dr. Smita, these are the 4 students. Yes.
Okay, great. Congratulations. It's a great, I think, matter of honor and pride. That's wonderful. Congratulations to all of them. Great.
And our next video is on our international collaborations with the Eötvös University. KMV, in spite of the physical presence at the campus, in this pandemic, we organize online courses for our students from the IOTWAS university professors. So
That's so wonderful to see that you have been working so hard to give all your students such an international exposure. That is excellent. I wish we had these facilities back then, 20 years back, but then, yeah, they are benefiting a lot, and it is great to see all your hard work and dedication which you are putting in. Congratulations to the PG Department of Psychology.
thank you. And with this, I heartily thanks worthy Madam Principal, Professor Dr. Atima Sharma Dwivedi, whose new initiative in the educational scenario has led KMV to become the first and only women college in Punjab to be conferred the status of autonomy and attain top rankings in the India Today and Outlook survey of Best Colleges 2020. Her indomitable spirit has always led KMV in achieving excellence across the globe. Under her unique perspectiveness, we all inspire to enhance ourselves even more in providing quality education to our young students and uplifting their personalities. So with this, now I invite Ms. Pranavjeet Kaur, our very bright student and head girl of KMV. To introduce and to welcome our speaker. Over to you, Pranavji.
Thank you, ma'am. I take immense delight in introducing you all, our notable alumni of KMV, Dr. Smita Vasudevji. She obtained her degree in BA Psychology Honours from KMV itself. She is an eminent psychologist registered with Rehabilitation Council of India. She is USA certified CBT practitioner with the clinical experience of 18 years. Dr. Vasudev is highly specialized and has received CBT training from the very prestigious Beck Institute for CBT, USA, and expertise in a wide range of mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, OCD, phobias, insomnia, and many more. Dr. Smita Vasudev has helped thousands of her clients overcome their stresses and strains and lead a joyful and successful life again. Also, she has helped many children and adolescents overcome their behavioral issues and achieve their potentials and dreams. We all welcome you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your kind words. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Pratima Sharma and Dr. Sharanjit Kaur for having invited me here on this platform. It gives me great joy and immense pleasure to see how KMV has reached great heights and won laurels under the leadership and mentorship of Dr. Atima Sharma. I studied my BA Honours in Psychology from KMV College and completed my degree in 2001. I still cherish all those wonderful moments we spent here. I remember the warmth, the love and dedication with which Kiran ma'am used to teach us psychology. All the concepts, all her teachings, lessons, they go straight into my heart, and they were taught with so much love and dedication that they not only helped me grow professionally, but also touched so many aspects of my personal life as well. I remember Mohini Sharda ma'am and Seema Jain ma'am also, who always encouraged us to participate, in debates, declamations, and were always there to support us no matter what. I will always be forever indebted to KMV for shaping me into what I am today, and its invaluable contributions to all my aspects of my life. So after completing my graduation from KMV College, I went on to do my master's in psychology from Punjab University. And then I completed my doctorate, my PhD from GNDU, after which I received CBT training from Beck Institute, USA. So I would just like to share a few things about the scope of psychology. As you all know, psychology is a very, very interesting subject and it has a very wide scope. So we just need to know where the interest lies and just follow our passion. There are so many branches of psychology, like clinical psychology, in which you become a clinician, you diagnose, you treat various mental health issues like depression, anxiety, phobias, insomnia, OCD, etc. Then there is counseling psychology, in which you help people in dealing with their day-to-day lives, in their interpersonal relationships. Then we have sports psychology, we have forensic psychology, criminal psychology, which is a very upcoming field of psychology, in which we study the psyche of the criminals. Then there is organizational psychology, in which you help the employers find the right kind of employees which is fit for their firms and MNCs. So there's a wide range. You just need to know where your interest lies and follow it with all your passion, hard work, and dedication, and then sky's the limit for you. So since I have received my training in CBT, I would like to share how CBT works, what it is, and I'll share with you a small presentation. And just give me a second. Are you able to view it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Just forward this and come straight away to CBT. Yeah. So CBT is cognitive behavior therapy, and it is one of the most well-researched psychotherapeutic approach, which helps us all to promote positive changes in individuals. It helps to reduce emotional distress in clients, and it addresses a lot of psychological, social, and behavioral issues. CBT therapists, they identify and treat difficulties which arise from individuals' irrational thinking, misperceptions, dysfunctional thoughts, and faulty learnings. Now, CBT includes two types of techniques. First is cognitive techniques, and the second is behavioral techniques. The cognitive techniques are aimed at recognizing and challenging the negative thoughts and maladaptive beliefs. The behavioral techniques, on the other hand, include graded task assignments, pleasant even scheduling, such as relaxation skills, improving communication skills, assertiveness skills, and problem-solving skills of the clients. Now, the various techniques which are used in CBT over a period of few sessions are aimed at helping the patients uncover and examine their thoughts, as well as bring about a positive change in their behaviors. So these are a few techniques. First is the detection and identification of automatic thoughts. So this is the core of CBT, wherein we help the clients to identify the negative automatic thoughts which are coming to the brain and help them challenge those thoughts and replace them with more healthier and more rational thoughts. Second is validity testing, where we help the clients to test how valid or how true the thoughts are. Then we help them to record dysfunctional thoughts. Then with the help of certain questions, we help them to question again the validity of their thoughts. We do some behavioral experiments with them. We help them in assertiveness training by doing some role modeling. Then we help the clients in monitoring certain activities and scheduling certain activities so that there is behavioral activation in them. We use graded task assignments. We do a lot of relaxation exercises. We help them use problem solving approach, and we use coping cards and credit lists so that they are able to give themselves credit for each and every little thing which they are doing. Now we will talk about the treatment which we follow across the sessions. Usually there is a general plan for CBT, but there is a specific plan for each individual session, and it can be viewed in 3 phases. The initial phase is the first phase, in which the emphasis is on symptom relief. Now, the aims of this phase are to re-engage the clients in their daily activities, because most of the times the clients who are depressed or who are suffering from anxiety or any other mental health issue, they are unable to perform their daily activities. It is very, very difficult for them to find interest in doing the day-to-day chores. So we help them to activate their behavior and find interest in daily activities and to restore their functioning. The middle phase addresses cognitive changes, which is an integral part of CBT. The main aims of this phase are to help the clients learn to identify the automatic thoughts, then critically evaluate these thoughts and examine alternative modes of thinking, that is, replace these negative thoughts with more healthier and realistic thoughts. The final phase emphasizes on the maintenance of the treatment effects and also on relapse prevention. The main aims of this phase are to encourage the clients to challenge and alter negative automatic thoughts and help the clients to set the future goals, anticipate what obstacles can come, and consider effective and efficient ways of how to overcome these obstacles. Now, various researches, I think there have been over 2,000 research studies which have found that CBT, either in combination with medication or even when applied, is much more effective than medication alone. And there have been a lot of studies which have proven that it helps in improving self-esteem, adjustment, and rational coping skills, as well as in reducing depression and maladaptive coping skills among depressed women and among various other mental health issues also. So that was all about CBT. Now we will discuss certain key points which will help make our lives happier. So first and foremost is that we have to make happiness a priority. If happiness is not at the top of our list, then obviously other things will take precedence. And when other things come, they will interfere with our efforts to feel good. We need to set happy goals, make sure that our goals are SMART, that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and well-timed. Do things that makes you happy. It's seen that sometimes many people, they simply forget to do things from which they gain pleasure. So try to do them as often as possible. It is very important to set yourself tasks from which you will gain satisfaction, as well as pleasure and enjoyment. Satisfaction is also a very, very important part of happiness. So make sure that whenever you are planning your tasks and activities, you include things that might not only be fun, but from which you will gain a sense of achievement also. It's very important to play and have fun, not to take life too seriously. Although we all have responsibility, but I'm sure there is no reason that we cannot approach much of our lives in a very playful manner. In fact, those who do so are undoubtedly happier. We must identify where our strengths are. We must know where our faults lies and weaknesses to avoid future problems. And we must know where our strengths lie to be really, really happy and to succeed in life. Various research studies have shown the more grateful we are, the more we appreciate what we have, the happier we are in lives. So we all have many choices in lives, one of which is whether to focus on the things we don't have or to focus on all the things we do have. So there is no doubt that gratitude and appreciation will significantly increase your chances of experiencing happiness. Plant happier, optimistic thoughts. Now, there are also two parts to this. First is developing helpful, optimistic thinking to weed out unhelpful, negative thoughts and to plant more positive and optimistic ones. So we must learn to control what we can control, accept what we cannot control, and learn to be wise enough to know the difference. This is one of the most important aspects to live in the present, because if we live in the past, we are bound to experience depression. And if we live in the future, we are bound to experience anxiety or we worry. So Miller once said that every moment is a golden one for him who has the vision to recognize it as such. The only moment in which we can truly be happy is the present moment, and the only moment over which we have control is the present moment. So be happy now, because if not now, then when? So that was it. I would like to welcome anyone who would have any questions for me. So I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your expertise on one of the pivotal therapies in psychology. I'm sure that everyone has gained an influential insight through your valuable erudition. This will surely add a great meaning to our lives. Plus, you told about live in present moment, stay happy. So these are very useful talks that we must need to hear every day so that we can feel happy. Yeah, we can have a quick question session. If anyone has any query regarding anything, you may shoot your question in chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask it directly to Smita ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
I think 2 participants raised hand.
Arzu, you can unmute. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Hello, Arzu. How are you?
Good evening, ma'am. It was lovely hearing from you. Ma'am,
Thank
would you
you.
like to put some more light on, there was a topic in the PPT, Socratic questions, something like that. Can you put some more light on that?
Yeah, so Socratic questionings are a group of questions which helps you, reformulate the thinking processes. For example, when depressed clients, they approach us. So most of them, they have negative thoughts which are coming to them automatically. But these thoughts, they are not true. But kahin na kahin, the clients, they start believing that these are true thoughts. So there is a series of questions which they are designed by Beck Institute. So we ask those clients those questions, that how true you think this thought is. Is this a true thought? Is this a helpful thought? Is this thought a kind thought? Is it necessary? Is it, so when the client answers no to any of these thoughts, so it means that it is a sign that these thought needs to be dismissed and they have to be replaced by some other rational and more realistic thought, which is more healthier. And in addition to these questions, there are also other questions which we ask, but then that depends upon person to person. But basically, it helps to challenge the validity of the thought which the person is thinking. For example, if a person thinks that I'm not good enough, right? So we ask, what proof do you have that you are not good enough? What evidence do you have that you are not good enough? How do you believe that this thought is true or not true, and how much percent do you believe this thought. So when he thinks about it, sometimes he find evidence that is contrary to the statement. He finds that he has actually achieved a lot, but it is just a thought that he's not good enough or he's a failure. So this helps us to change those negative thoughts. Yeah. So
thank you so much,
so is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, right, good. Anybody else wants to
Greetings,
ask?
everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Jasmine, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. First of all, I'd like to express my gratefulness towards you, ma'am. It was an amazing session. Such an enlightening session, I would say. Ma'am, I would like to ask you that sometimes in our lives, we witness certain situations in which we feel, okay, this certain thing has not gone according to our expectations, right? So how can we become more resilient, and how can we regain that same determination and focus again, which we had before actually executing our plans or ideas?
I think this happens with all of us, and such situations arise almost with everybody at some point in our lives, that we don't get what we expect, right, out of a situation. So it is actually how we view the situation, right, how we perceive the situation, that determines our emotions, that determines our behavior and our thought processes. So I think here that would be appropriate, that sometimes we need to accept and focus only on what we can control, right? There are certain things which are just out of our control, right? So if we accept and go ahead with belief in ourselves that it's okay, it's just a temporary phase, and it's not going to be always like that, and there is always some kind of solution to every problem. So this is just a temporary phase, and with our determination we can move ahead, believing in ourselves, and thinking that whatever happened happens for a reason, and in future believe that good things are going to happen, and I am going to achieve what I want to. So I think hope and faith has to be always on the top, and believing in yourself. And so I think you can reach great heights, and nothing and no one can stop you from achieving what you want. So there would be roadblocks, no doubt about it. There would be difficult circumstances, but then one difficult circumstance or two cannot just tear up your spirits. So I think we have to have a mental set that these are going to happen, but I can challenge them or face them head on. Right. Yeah.
Beautifully answered, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Can you
There's
please
a question in chat box.
So can you please share some tips for anxiety? Yes. So anxiety usually happens when we have these thoughts that we won't be able to cope up with a particular situation, or that a particular situation around us is threatening in some way. But this is definitely a wrong signal which our brain gets, and it is not true. So we need to identify that the thoughts which are coming at that very moment are, first of all, not true. They are false thoughts, they are useless thoughts, and I do not need to believe in them. The truth is that I am definitely safe. I am there is nothing that is dangerous or threatening around me. And the most effective way to deal with anxiety, and the easiest way, is to do deep breathing exercises. I think for 10 to 15 times. It just takes 2 to 3 minutes. And when you inhale and exhale very, very slowly, it helps you regain, a lot of positivity, and you start feeling more calm and more relaxed. And another tip I would say is not to focus on your body or your heartbeat, or other changes which are sometimes there are butterflies in the stomach, sometimes our hands are trembling, sometimes we feel choked, or we feel that there is an increase in the breathing rate. So jitna hum अपने बॉडी के ऊपर एम्फेसिस देते हैं, the more we feel anxious. So try to change your focus to something external rather than internal. And you can there are other grounding techniques also which you will read, and which we help the clients to change his focus of attention. So that helps a lot in anxiety, in coping with anxiety. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, ma'am, one more question in the chat box. How to deal with aggression?
Okay. So aggression usually comes when there is some sort of frustration inside you, some sort of disappointment. So first we need to find the cause, and then accordingly we treat the clients, because different people have different reasons. So we need to find out the cause first, and then eliminate the cause. And once we eliminate the cause, we are able to cope with it in a very healthy way, right? So depends upon person to person. And moreover, what we can do is we don't need to approach the source of anger when we are angry. It's always best to go to another room and sit there, take a few deep breaths. We have some questions which we tend to tell the clients to ask himself when he or she gets angry, because most of the time it is like the clients, they tend to overreact, and sometimes they misread the other person's intentions. They feel that the other person is treating them unfairly or meanly, and they misinterpret the situation also. But sometimes it is just an overreaction, and it is not even important also. So we just help the clients to understand the various dimensions of the situation, and help them to visualize that in future, if the situation happens again, how will they treat it in a different way, and they can handle it more calmly, and taking a different view of the situation. Yeah. So I hope that answers your query.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, one question from my side, like you are practicing nowadays. So what type of patients or what type of psychological disorders you frequently seen in this pandemic? Like, is this pandemic arise some specific type of psychological disorder like OCD and of course panic attacks because of this pandemic?
Angie, because of this pandemic, they have lots of increase in anxiety and depression. Anxiety pertaining to COVID also was there, specifically in the last wave. But nowadays, yes, there has been a lot of anxiety cases, lot of depression cases, and particularly among adolescents also. Because of I think online classes, and because of the competitive exams, and so many things going on.
Maybe confined to home all the time with the parents and missing companionship.
Definitely, it's a very difficult situation for the kids, for adolescents, especially. Yes, it is.
But two more students raise hands, so we will take your little bit time.
Okay, no problem.
Khushi.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Khushi. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Ma'am, it's lovely hearing you. Indeed, we learn a lot. Ma'am, my question is, how can we reframe the situation and find more balanced perspective?
How can we change the situation?
Yes, ma'am. Reframe it.
So the thing is that actually we are not able to change the situation, what is pertaining, but we are able to change our thinking, right, about the situation. So when we change our thinking, we change the entire world around us. So that is the key to CBT, that the situation can be any situation, but it is how we think about a situation that determines our behavior, that determines our reactions towards the situations. So we need to change our perception, and accordingly the everything around us changes.
Yes,
So right. Yeah. So anything particular you are intending at or asking about, any particular situation here?
मैम नेगेटिव सिचुएशंस जो लाइफ में आती हैं.
ओके, सो जो वही है कि नेगेटिव सिचुएशंस हर एक की लाइफ में आती हैं, बट देन वी जस्ट नीड टू stand in there with patience and think, approach it in a problem solving manner. जो चीजें हमारे कंट्रोल में है, we just need to understand what best we can do to solve this, and there are certain things which we cannot do anything about. So just leave and don't worry about those, but just focus on what is in your control, do your best and move ahead. That's what we can do with a positive mindset and attitude, of course.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, in this, Khushi, I want to add, like, yes, ma'am said very right that we won't change the situations. But one thing is also very important here, that we cannot control the outer environment, right? But we can control our mind. We can control our thinking. So if we work on that, I think it will help us to cope with the negative situations, or we can say the difficult situations.
Definitely. Very well said.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, like these days, maybe it's just because of the pandemic or stuff, that adolescents, like basically who are around 15 to 16 years of age, like my age group, we experience a lot of friction with like our elders, to be very exact, like with our parents, because we think they don't understand us, and they think that they are not, like we actually are just becoming strangers to each other's existence, because hum apni side se bhi effort we put, and they also put an effort, like you know, to get closer, or sometimes हमें ऐसा लगता है कि they are hindering our privacy, or they don't trust us enough, that they are not able to accept the fact that we've grown up, and we are not able to accept the fact that they will never stop, like, you know, babying us. So that creates a lot of friction inside the household, and then there are fights, and then there are tensions. So ma'am, how could we like cope up with this?
I think the main key is to communicate with them in a friendly way, and communicate all your feelings, whatever you are feeling, very calmly with them. Sometimes we get offended, like when our parents say something to us, we feel that it's a breach of, sometimes privacy, if they come and come to our rooms, or if they want to sit with us, or we want our own independence as adolescents, but they want that adolescents or children should spend time with them. So I think there need to be a middle path. As parents should also need to approach the adolescents in a very friendly manner, and they should also understand that they need a little space at this time, and they should also respect them, and vice versa. I think if there would be a open communication, like sometimes we feel that मम्मी पापा को नहीं बताते हैं, रहने देते हैं, वो नहीं समझेंगे, but I think if we try and tell them like ekdam aram se, not getting agitated or irritated, because then the whole focus goes on the aggression part, and jo problem hoti it never gets solved. So if we communicate with them very calmly in an assertive way, help them understand what we are going through, so they will definitely understand, and it would actually increase the closeness between you and the parents also. And sometimes, if needed, professional help can also be taken, and definitely that helps a lot in bridging the gap between parents and children or adolescents when there is more problem involved. So does that answer your query, or you would like to ask something else? also?
Ma'am, it actually does answer. Thank you.
Okay, right. Welcome.
Do we have any other query?
No, I think we don't have.
But it was so much interactive indeed. May I conclude now?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. We have come to the end of such a memorable session. We are grateful to Madam Principal for always enlightening and inspiring us. Dr. Smita ma'am, it was great to have you here amongst us, and we have learned a lot from you today. Thank you so much. A special thanks to our technical team, Ravi sir. Last but not least, I would like to thank our teachers of my department and all the participants who joined us today. I bid adieu and look forward to meet you all in the next chapter of Alumni Speaks. Thank you so much and stay safe.
Thank you so much, Smita ma'am. It's indeed a wonderful session, and I think we have a wonderful interactive session. That is actually the main part of any session, right? When the students want to clear their doubts, and it will shows that they actually benefited.
Thank you so much for having invited me. And it was a pleasure interacting with all wonderful students. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so